Hi guys, today we'll be discussing managing and adding domains to Office 365 using solely PowerShell. The big advantage you get through PowerShell is that everything is really straight to the point. You don't have to deal with menus, you don't have to deal with menu-driven systems. Every command you run has a purpose, and you're basically skipping every wizard that you can possibly. So it makes things a lot quicker if you know all the PowerShell commands. Luckily, with PowerShell, you can use tab through most things, and there is a formula to using PowerShell. A lot of the times, it's usually connect, get, or set something. And you can use tab, and there's a lot of PowerShell tools or guides online to help you through the session. So hopefully this one will help you through adding domains to Office 365. Before you go ahead and add domains to Office 365, there's a few things that we need to have set up. The first thing you need to have set up, you need to be running Windows 7, 8, or Windows 8.1 with .NET Framework 3.5.1 installed. And Microsoft suggests that you have all of the updates to this as well. You need the Microsoft Online Assistant. Now, the Microsoft Online Assistant is going to be a little bit tricky because if you visited the Azure page, you'll notice here it says first install the Microsoft Online Service Assistant for IT Professionals, RTW, and then install the Azure Active Directory module for Windows. However, if you install this version of the Microsoft Online Sign-In Assistant, the RTW version, you will not be able to install the Azure Active Directory module. It will not let you. The solution is to install the Microsoft Online Services Signing Assistant for IT Pros, the beta version. This has been an issue for over a year. I don't know why it hasn't been addressed, and I don't know why they're misleading people on this page. So once you have the beta version installed, it's important to know the Online Services Signing Assistant is essentially used for as a tool for rich clients to be able to log into Office 365 using Azure PowerShell or without PowerShell. So once you have this Sign-In Assistant installed, you can go ahead and install the Azure Active Directory module for Windows PowerShell. And once that's installed, you are ready to go. So the first thing you're going to do once this is installed, I'm just going to do a double check here, and I'm going to remove this domain because we're going to add this domain in PowerShell. Perfect, it's gone. So the first thing you're going to do is go to your desktop, and you're going to run this Windows Azure Active Directory module. Perfect. The first command, so at this point we can start using PowerShell commands. So the first command we're going to connect to the MSOL service. So we're going to run the command called connect-msol service. And it will ask us to log in with our administrator username and password. On Microsoft.com. And your password. So once you fill that in, it's going to look like it essentially did nothing. The next step we can do is run a get-msol domain to make sure that we're getting something from Office 365. Even if you have your own just on Microsoft account, you'll be able to run this command and see it here. So we'll type in get-msol domain. And perfect, it's showing us all the domains that we have here. So I have a few domains already logged here, and we're going to want to add another one. So the first thing I'm going to do, we're going to add the new domain to Office 365 through PowerShell. So the first command to do that is new MSOL domain. And then we want to change it to managed authentication. And authentication managed. And then we're going to specify its name, so 365unity.com. So 365unity is my blog. I own the domain, so we're just going to add it to Office 365. So that looks good, so we're going to enter here. So the first thing you'll notice is that they added my Office 365. It's managed, but its status is unverified. That's because we have not validated that we own this domain yet. So for every domain that you want to add to Office 365, Microsoft requires that you prove that you own the domain. How to prove that you own the domain? They will provide you a DNS record, either an MX record or a TXT record, where you will take that record and set it up on your DNS server. And then they will basically do a lookup on your domain and look for the DNS server that you added. So the next command we're going to run will do that. So the next command is the get msol domain. And you can tab through to get certain things. So if I hit tab here, you will see the different settings that we can use to tab through, or the different commands that are available. So I want to put in another letter here so we can tab a little bit more. So vera. And then we go, there we go, verification DNS. So we're going to specify domain name and 365unity.com -mode. And we're going to look at, so there's two types of records like I said before, so I'll just start typing in. And then, so the first one was the DNS MX record, which is a mail exchanger, or a mail exchange record. I typically don't like to use these because the mail exchange records are useful. So I'll typically use a TXT record. So there's my TXT record, and then if I hit enter, it should give me the TXT record that we want to use. So I'm just going to mark the middle part and copy it, and then I'm going to go to my domain provider here, and I'm going to add a TXT record. So we'll click on add record, and then we're going to select the record type. So I'm using GoDaddy. They have a pretty nice menu. All records, and then I'm going to paste the record that I got from Microsoft, and then I'm going to click finish, and I'm going to click save to save changes. So then we're going to go back to our PowerShell, and we're going to confirm that we did it. So basically the confirmation will go out and check that you own the DNS record. So confirm msol domain -domain name 365unity.com. So it's going to do a check, and then it's basically telling me the domain has successfully been added. So I can do a get-msol domain again, and then enter, and I can now see that my 365 Unity domain has been verified and managed. So now we're ready to add users to Office 365. We're ready to add DNS records. We're ready to basically use our domain in Office 365, and from here it depends on where we want to go, whether the next step is we already have an on-premise environment when we want to sync users over, or maybe we want to go a step further and use ADFS and single sign-on with Office 365, or maybe we just want everything living in the cloud and Office 365 will manage everything in that environment. So I hope this was helpful to you, and please check back with me for our next blogs, for our next video blog entries. Thank you guys, and have an awesome day.